The three common mistakes educators make when trying to reconnect to their passion for education and how to avoid these. Are you an educator who has lost your passion or that feels like you're struggling with emotional regulation? Or do you never have time for your own self care? Do you feel like you don't know how to get out of this loop and you feel like your passion is lost? Do you wish that you could reconnect to your passion and reconnect with that love of your career and your life? Well, keep watching because in this video, I will share the three common mistakes educators make when trying to process self-care. My name is Tracy Steele, and I am the founder of Soul Empowered Educators. And I'm so very passionate about educators reconnecting to their passion. I know what it's like to end up stressed and passionless because this used to affect me too. Forecasting actually tells us that our next generation will live in a high-tech creative world, suggesting all repetitive jobs will be replaced with the creative and critical thinking humans. And according to the World Economic Forum, creativity will be the most valued skill. And even LinkedIn today is showing a huge increase in creatives' demand. The current education model does not highlight creativity skills as a dominant focus, and to educate creative skills, we actually have to model creative skills. So where does creativity come from? Innate, intuitive, motivated decisions, well-balanced, emotionally regulated humans are the most creative and passionate. The three common mistakes educators make when trying to reconnect to their passion for education is, firstly, through no fault of our own, the same learn and do cookie cutter education system has trained you for industry careers and not to be creative or a critical thinker instead. We have exposure and followed an outdated, controlling, structured education model with outdated science, which is creating passionless educators. As the latest science shows, our brains are recording everything in our lives until about the age of 25. So first, as educators, we have to undo the teacher-directed model of education that we actually received. As Joe Rule found out, and many others, including myself during Home Educated Journey, student-directed lessons create the right space for students to create inspired, responsible decisions and choices in their own learning and lives, have a greater chance of learning self-responsibility, intuition, and that gut feeling is activated. They value themselves, emotional regulation, motivation, inspired learning, and so importantly, enhances creativity. Being creative is a huge asset to our next generation, the new and unknown world that is going to be available to them. And if we do not set them up to practice creativity skills, we will fail them and possibly the world we live in. So ensuring change in our current education model is absolutely vital. The second common issue for educators is that having been taught by an outdated education model that does not practice or value self-care, which then creates subconscious mind programs, stigma around stress and self-care. The programs include demanding productivity, deadlines, schedules, organization, and de-stress tools and downtime don't align with that mind program and can feel unnecessary, futile, and unproductive. A study by Sarah Lazars, a neuroscientist, reported findings which even surprised her. Her research showed 50-year-old meditators are likely to have some statistical aging brain markers. Yes, you heard me right. These 50-year-old brains were now the same as 25-year-old brains, which included increase in memory, reduction in the amygdala, our control center for our emotional regulation, and learning skills, and significant increase in positive moods and happiness levels. And to be honest, that's just the start. You will see when you look at the science and the solutions section of the Soul Empowered Educator course that Sarah and many other scientists confirm mind-blowing research with de-stress techniques, meditation, and other various different solutions. It's all up-to-date science. The third common issue educators get hung up on is time. I remember having a lack of time mindset, telling myself that time was an enemy, that we only have a short time to explain and implement, engage, and be productive and measure and motivate students to learn. Educators can feel that doing anything extra, like adding a new de-stress tool, will take away their time for learning, which would seem logical. However, the science and endless research confirms the opposite to actually be reality and true. In the Soul Empowered Educator course, I explain how various different methods can be achieved using tools like breathwork, meditation, hypnosis, laughter yoga, and many other proven de-stress tools. We're all unique. You get to find and try your version. In an environment where stress is 100% guaranteed, de-stress tools are even more valuable, as even my specific powerful short 5-second tool can make a huge impact to empower learning for students and, of course, our educators. So many educators are affected by this problem because they are making these three most common mistakes when trying to resolve the problem, which are practicing stress and don't understand the latest science on self-care and giving away their power to time. While stress is 100% guaranteed every day and affects us all in many unique ways, stats show that educators are 78% more likely to have emotional stresses in their career and therefore possibly 78% more stressed days, and that builds up. And it can feel like a really big problem for educators, as the latest science of epigenetics tells us that affects students too. There are 3 secret steps that any educator can easily use to overcome this so that they can be more passionate, more creative, happier, and more emotionally regulated so that they can love their career, themselves, and their lives, and their families with passion. Comment below and let me know what stood out to you from this video. And if you have any questions about how to become a passionate, empowered educator, comment below also. Thank you. Much love. Bye.